Learning goals are extremely important. They let the student know what they're going to learn for the day, how important it is, how deeply they need to learn it, and it also tells the student how they need to demonstrate their new knowledge. Check this model out. It shows learning goals to be in the center or the heart, the most important part of the art and science of teaching. The chart shows a nice list of Maranzano's 9 design questions, and we're focusing in on design question 1. It's a starting point for teachers who want to identify what students will be learning in the classroom. And then it also will allow teachers to assess students' demonstrated knowledge of that specific goal. The pyramid is Maranzano's taxonomy of learning. So we could compare it to Bloom's. This page just shows a variety of things that I found put together on learning goals. First one is in a green box, talks about the definition of a goal. It's a statement that describes in broad terms what the learner will gain from instruction. Now, there's two different types of learning goals or two different formats. The first one is a declarative knowledge, where it's informational knowledge developed through review, revision, error analysis, and identification of similarities and differences. And the second one is more procedural. It's a knowledge that's oriented towards skills, strategies, and processes. In the gray box, you can see that it gives you a nice little format. So you can use either the declarative or the procedural, and it's very basic to write. Students will understand or know. And then if it's the procedural, its students will be able to. And those are the different types of learning goals. Learning goals need to be posted and read by students. Learning goals should be used by the teacher to track student progress. I've included a Nebraska State Standard Language Arts 5.1 as an example of a learning goal. So, step 1 is to define the learning goal. And then step 2, write a scale or a rubric for each learning goal. I've taken Language Arts 5.1.3a and turned it into a learning goal on a scale. Now it would land at a 3.0, so the student demonstrates phonemic and structural analysis by identifying and comparing roots, affixes, and multiple syllable words. You move up on a 4 would be in addition to that 3.0. In-depth inferences and applications go beyond what's taught. And then if we look at the 2.0, the student demonstrates some knowledge. And then the 1 would be with help, the student has partial understanding. And then at a 0 level, even with help, no understanding or skill is demonstrated. Here's that same language arts standards scale. And now we've listed different students where we believe that they are at their learning level. Now, at different times during the instruction of this standard, we want to evaluate students or where we believe they are at what level. So you could do it pre-test before you even do initial instruction. You could do it mid-unit or mid-chapter. You could do it right before you give a test, or you could do it and arrange their names at that post-test or that post-assessment time. So you can see that students that are at that lowest level, we want to move them up to the next level. Here's just some sample learning scales that I found on the internet. You could use them or apply them to your own situation. Here's a sample of Bloom's taxonomy with various verbs and then different activities that would go right along with those different levels. Here's a resource page that you can use to develop scales. An excellent online source with that web address for the marzanoresearch.com. And then that depth of knowledge chart. It shows different levels and things that you can do in the classroom or even write your goals. Your next step would just be organize your learning goals, put them into a year-long plan. It kind of reminds you a bit of curriculum mapping. And a final step would be to have students track their own progress.